Hey y'all, today we're going to be making a classic cowhide clutch with a wristlet strap. So here's everything you're going to need to make this. You're going to want to start out with square edges. You can't have a quality final product if you're cutting corners before you even start. So step one is always going to be make sure your edges are nice and straight and squared off. Right, now we're going to head over to the sewing machine and we're going to sew this zipper on the top edges. You're going to want to try to sew closer to the edge of the zipper so your final product doesn't have a lot of zipper flapping around on the inside of your bag. Next we're going to work on these tabs. Now I know a lot of people say you can just cut them off, but if you do that you're going to end up with some fraying ends there, and it's just not going to be as long lasting and quality of a product. So what I do is I take some leather glue and I glue the tabs down, and then when we get to our stitching we're actually going to stitch through them to hold them down even more so. I just feel like it's the little details like this that really make a big difference on the quality of your final product. So just take your time, get everything positioned right, and then clamp it in place while that glue dries. Alright, make sure your zippers are working good and everything's the way you like it. Now we're going to work on our edges. Now I'm going to use a scrap piece of fabric and spread an even thin layer of this leather glue along the edges. Then we're going to take our time getting it positioned and we're going to clamp it into place. I got my little kids here helping me. Alright, now after that side's done, we're going to work on this next side. Now I do it like this because I only have 3 or 4 clamps, but if I had a lot of clamps, I would put the glue along all of the edges and then position it and clamp it all the edges at the same time. But since I only have 3 or 4 clamps, I do one side at a time. Once all your sides are done, you're ready to start punching your holes for your stitching. Now this is another one of those areas where the details make a big difference on the quality. So go ahead and get you a ruler and make sure that your holes are an even and straight distance from the edges of that cowhide. After I get a few holes into it, I'll even get a straight edge and clamp that down and follow along that straight edge just to make sure that my holes stay straight. Now for this, I'm just doing a whip stitch. This is an area where you can add a lot of your client's personality into each bag and each hide. I use a lot of turquoise colored stitching. You can do hot pink, purple, orange, any color under the sun, and that'll bring some of your client's personality into each hide. But you want to make sure your stitching is evenly spaced, and you want to pull it taut but not tight. If you pull it overly tight, you can curl your edges, your product won't lay straight, and it just won't have that quality you're looking for. Alright, so when I get down here to the corners, I like to double stitch my corners. I think it makes for a much nicer transition around that squared off corner. You can manipulate the laces a little bit and it'll just go right around that squared off corner, and you won't end up with a random harsh squared awkward corner. It's just another one of those areas that you can take a cute cowhide product and make it a really nice high quality product. And once you get through that corner, just keep going with your whip stitching. Again, making sure you got even tension, even spacing, watch your angles. Then, when you got all the way around, take a rawhide mallet and basically you just whack your stitches. And that's going to set those stitches. Again, it's just these little things like this that add up to really nice quality that you could be proud of. Now we're going to attach our wristlet strap. Now I like to use eyelets. I think it makes for a much cleaner, nicer result. Now it's a lot of layers and I'm a little person, so it takes me a bit to get a hole punched in this, but make sure your hole is the size your eyelets need. And you gotta make sure that you get all those little hair scraps and cowhide fragments out of that hole. You need a nice clean hole. Now when you're putting these in and you go to whack it with your mallet, you don't want to just beat the snot out of this thing. You want to gently tap it, and if you're gently tapping it, you can feel when that eyelet expands. You're just going to do the same thing for the wrist strap. Then we're going to use a ring to connect the two. There you have it. Y'all, I sure do hope y'all enjoyed watching this and really appreciate y'all. This is a great size to hold all your essentials. It's really comfortable and easy to carry. If you have any questions, just drop them down there in the comments, and y'all have a blessed day.